Yo, what's good, my people? Soft Showways back with another video. And an important video at that, as you would have seen from the title. The bar to be great in this generation, in this world today we live in, 2025, it's set extremely low in my opinion. I think it's the best opportunity that a lot of us have seen. So the time is now to be great, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like a lot of us want to be the first millionaire, for example, in our family, or the person to break that chain of poverty, or whatever it is, whatever goal you have for yourself. And I feel like the opportunities in front of us today are exactly that. I mean, things like the internet, social media, the opportunities are endless. I mean, a lot of people, I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine. We do a lot of business together. We have deep conversations. And we was talking about this. We was talking about how everybody focuses on the negatives of social media now. But they only focus on those negatives because they're addicted to whether it's binge watching, entertainment, porn, whatever it is they're addicted to. But if they flip the switch and they actually feed the focus and starve the distractions, they'll see that same time they're pouring into these negative things generated through the internet can also bring you the flip side, and that is linking a customer to a consumer like that. You've never met this person ever, and they will buy from your website because of the marketing you've done online, because of the brand you've made online. And all you need is information and time, and maybe a bit of capital, depending on the business model. But the opportunity of today is crazy, people. And you can do whatever you want to do today. I mean, first you have to define your success. Define what being great is to you. For me, for example, I want to be a great role model. I want to be a leader for my family. I want to have financial freedom, not necessarily to have £1 billion to have £1 billion, or 10 mil to have 10 mil. More so to have freedom, so I can enjoy life's experiences whilst I'm here. Something to give and leave for my family, so I know they'll be good. And just a bit of mental stimulation, a bit of a challenge for myself. I mean, I don't believe I'm here to be mediocre. I don't want to be here to just waste time. I want to kind of be an outlier, step out of the box and do things different. And yeah, being in that upper 1%, you're definitely going to be somebody who's done something different in the life, But yeah, going back to the point, you have to define what being great is to you. Your own ideologies. You don't want to be great for the world or for anyone else. You want to be great to yourself, and great in your own way, wherever you see great is. And once you've defined that, you have to work on that. You have to research how to be that person. You might have to give up a lot of sacrifices. You might have to sacrifice a lot of addictions. You might have to change your whole mindset. I look on the 4 pillars. I say it all the time. Mentally, mindset, reading, researching, diving deep into your purpose. These are all in the mental pillar, I'd say. Then there's a financial pillar, of course. You want to be great in the financial pillar. So look at the top earners in your area, for example, and then realistically look how to get there. And then there's the physical aspect. A lot of people, especially in first world countries, we're so spoiled for food, and we eat a lot of bullshit, man. We eat a lot of GMO shit that a lot of the time we're not aware of. A lot of us aren't active in the gym or consistent with the gym. That's not a hard task. To be great, you have to be taking care of your body first. I don't care if you're a millionaire, how rich you are. If you're not taking care of your body and your diet and your health, that's a big problem for me, in my opinion. That's a massive problem, and I think you should look at it the same way as well. That's kind of a foundation. But you can literally, depending on how big you are, how out of shape you are, you can go from an average size, an average weight, an average build, an average body to an amazing build in 6 months, just depending on how you structure things, And then this spiritually as well. This one's an important one for me. I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of God. And yeah, whatever aligns with you, religion, spirituality. But they're the 4 pillars of being great. So you have to look into each one of those and assess what you want to do, what aligns with you, where you want to be at. and do research into these things, research into the people you want to be like, research the titans in history that have done what you want to do, or you want to be like them, or have some of the traits they had. You know, it takes a lot of work to be great. Don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be handed to you, but the opportunities we have today, I can go and learn everything about Napoleon or Plato, the philosopher, if I wanted to today on the internet. 200 years ago, I don't know how accessible that was. I don't know how accessible it was for them 200 years ago to be able to make 10 grand a month, which you see a lot of people doing now, or a lot of people claiming to do it. Look, people, today's world is changing quick and fast, man, and if you don't keep up, you're going to get left behind. That's why it's key, knowing the opportunity is now. Don't sit on your potential. Don't think that we're always going to have this window of opportunity, because it's not guaranteed. If anything, they're going to shut that window sooner than later. So, yeah, be aware, be proactive, adjust and plan. Be in control of yourself. Be in control of your time management. Be in control of your financials. Know that it's a war on attention out here. Know that your attention is the real currency. Forget about money. Your attention is the real currency. That's where the money flows through, your attention. And that's a beautiful segue into some statistics I was researching earlier. One of them being, in 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. Today, in 2025, it's 8 seconds and shorter than a goldfish. Imagine that. Goldfish has a better attention span than the average human. Another one. Nearly 80% of adults don't get the recommended amount of exercise. That's just pathetic to me. 4 out of 5 adults don't get the recommended amount of exercise. How can you be great being average? How can you be great being one of the average 80% of adults not getting the recommended amount of exercise? And you don't even want to do what they're recommending. You want to do better if you want to be great. And knowing that pouring into yourself physically and your health will only benefit you in the long run. It will probably give you more time on earth. It's not guaranteed, but you'll at least be in a better health and shape whilst you're here. You get serotonin from it. Learn about brain chemicals. We rely on dopamine. We love the fast fixes in this world. But serotonin is the real pleasure, to be honest. Another one anyway. 64% of Americans, the richest country in the world, live paycheck to paycheck. 64%. That's nearly 2/3 of America live paycheck to paycheck. That means if you have a few thousand pounds, dollars, whatever, in your bank, liquid, you're in the top 36% in the richest country in the world, which is crazy to me. It's very mad. I'm going to reiterate again, the bar to be great is so low right now, people. So low, man. Are you going to make it count? Let me give you some more facts. Financially, in the US, to be in the top 1%, you need to be earning around 500k a year, which is quite a lot, but I believe anybody with the right amount of research, the right amount of knowledge, the right amount of capital, any of us can get there. I really, truly believe that. But globally, it's only 60 bags a year, £60,000 a year. That puts you ahead of 99% of the planet, earning 60 grand a year. That's less than 6 grand a month. That's crazy. Physically, to be in the top 1%, if you lift 3 to 5 times a week, you sleep well, you don't eat like trash, you're healthier than 99% of people. How mad is that? How crazy is that? It's mind-blowing, man. Mentally, how to be in the top 1%. If you can focus deeply for 60 to 90 minutes, an hour to an hour and a half, without picking up your phone, you are elite. You are in the top 1%. Again, crazy to me. Now, let me just timeline an average person's day, okay? 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 9 to 5. What's that? 16 hours, 8 hours left, right? Guess what the average screen time is a day? 7+ hours of screen time. That's your day gone. Work, sleep, 7 hours on my phone, bed. What kind of life are we living, man? Like, Have some standards and you'll be great. That should be the title. Have some standards and you will be great. It's pathetic, man. We're too accustomed to this, man. And you gotta be a real man, you gotta be a real woman and stand up, because I'm not having my kids. I don't want my kids to fall short in these areas. I don't want them to be spending 7 hours on their phone a day. 7 hours of their only free time they get a day on their phone, unless, goes back to what I said earlier, they're using that 7 hours on their phone to read, to research, to do some business, to handle a meeting through Teams. That's different. But if it's strictly entertainment, binge, habitual scrolling, forget it. Forget it. It's brain rot. I'm going to give you guys just to round this up, a quick small blueprint, some ideas that may be able to help you from becoming this great man or woman that you wish to become, that is so easy to become. So what I'd recommend is, in the financial sector, like I said, I'm going to break it down into the 4 pillars. In the financial sector, master a high income skill, whether it be sales, copywriting. Copywriting is really easy now. You can use AI to write these scripts for you. Coding, design, these sort of things. I'd also say live frugally. Live below your means. Stay at home as long as you can with minimal bills. Invest as much as you can. Aggressively invest. Over saving as well, by the way. Obviously, have a buffer, have an emergency fund, but invest as early as you can, because time is the biggest commodity when it comes to investing. The difference between someone starting at 20 and 30 is crazy, because of compound, simply. I'd also say read a book, man. The Millionaire Fastlane, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Simple kind of entrepreneurial mindsets and ideologies. It'll just spark your thinking, change the way you think and see time and money and those things. Physically now, train 4 times a week minimum. Lift, walk, move, exercise, whatever, jog, walk, home workout, whatever you can get in, train 4 times a week. Sleep 7 to 8. I do 6 sometimes, but so I'm going to say 6 to 8 hours of sleep religiously. Make sure you have that in stapled. You need your sleep. I'd say if you can, go to bed at the same time every day, wake up at the same time every day. That will just form a balance within your body. It'll give it some familiarity. Also, eat real food. Avoid processed poison. We don't know the effects of these yet. Sugar's the biggest drug. Cold showers, saunas, discipline, supplements. Supplements. Depends on how you live in. I use some for gym. And I live in the UK, so I take vitamin D just in case we don't have the sun, especially in winter. Now onto the mental or the mentality pillar. Meditate or journal every day. It might sound a bit cliche. Everyone says meditate and it'll change your life. I break down meditating into 3 things. Stillness, which is a practice it's a historical practice. A lot of people that know about stuff just practice stillness. It stimulates the mind. It's kind of like a detachment. They'll go somewhere where they can just sit in silence. Another one, replace scrolling with reading. Listen, 1 book a month is about 10 pages a day. Deep it. And the average book is about 300 pages. The average days in a month is about 30. If you can do 10 pages a day, that's a book a month, 12 a year, and build on that. 10 pages is nothing. It might seem big to begin with, but I'm telling you, if you've got a book of value, you're going to probably end up reading more than the 10 pages you set out to. And then the final one is spiritually. Pray, meditate, walk in nature, all grounding exercises, all things that can kind of it's like natural dopamine or serotonin, rather than, like I said, we're used to this instant entertainment, instant porn, instant binging and just scrolling, brain rot. These are the real things that stimulate your brain. Another one, read philosophy or religious books, whether that's Stoicism books, the Bible, the Quran, whatever aligns with you, universal laws, I don't know. But have some sort of spiritual presence. I think it's important, the life we live. For me anyway, again, if it's not something that's important to you, that's fine. I'm just trying to give you guys a little blueprint on what's helped me and may be able to help you. just to round it up, people, just remember, you're not competing with the world. You're competing with the average. You don't want to be average, you want to be great. So you got to do what the average isn't. You're also competing against yourself. At the end of the day, if you're doing better than the old you, it's progress. And that's what we're meant to do in life. We're meant to grow. But remember, if you're trying to be great, remember it's a never-ending bettering yourself. So that's the key thing to take away from today. If you're always improving your life, you're on the right track. Remember, people have never been more distracted than they are today, more undisciplined, even lost. If you can simply commit to greatness in small, consistent ways, you will rise, and people will say you're gifted, you're lucky, or even an overnight success. But the truth is, you just showed up when most people quit. Remember, the bar is extremely low. Rise above it. Be uncommon, be undeniable, be a role model for your family, and be great, man. You can do it, bro. Love for tuning in today, people. I hope you lot took something away from it, something you can apply. But yeah, man, drop some comments below, any video suggestions and whatnot. But thanks for taking the time, people. Wow.